Alright, so today's video is going to be rather long. I do have a compiled list of questions that I've been asked about this particular issue. Um, but I wanted to talk about this just because I have said before I wanted people to understand me on a more personal level, especially if you're a subscriber and you just kind of want to get to know me. I think this is a really appropriate place to start. Um, what I'm about to tell you is definitely not everybody's cup of tea. This is not to turn you to my beliefs. This is not to shun on anybody else's beliefs. It's just basically giving a statement on what I believe in and what it's about, and just other little tidbits, because there's so many misconceptions of what I believe in and other things, and people like to know, what can you do and what can't you do and things like that. And I'm just going to try to clarify it as best as I can in the way that I understand so that you can understand it. And however you process it is your own right. And hopefully, people don't get too put off by my beliefs. I personally don't care if you do. I can see a lot of people would maybe, unsubscribe to me because they think I'm some kind of a crock or crazy, whatever. But trust me, I've been told many things in my life. It's just, this is a clarification. And I'm just going to go about this whole video. It's probably not going to be in any particular order. I'm just going where I feel is fit to start. So, as you can see by the title of this video, I am a Satanist. I believe in myself. And why do I believe in myself? That's what Laveyan Satanism is. It is that you're your own God. There is no God. There is no devil. Actually, if you want to be technical, in Laveyan Satanism, Satan really doesn't exist. So with all these questions, it'll explain a lot. So I'm not going to try and, completely give too much away. I want to answer these questions and then give an explanation to everything. So what I'm going to say, it's just going to go according to my compiled list of questions I have written down. So the first one, as I've stated, what is Laveyan Satanism? Laveyan Satanism is basically the belief that you are your own God. There is no God, there is no devil. You are in control of your own life and what you want to do. There are no repercussions for anything. You do what makes you happy. And the reason why I follow this belief is because it seems to me to be the only positive belief system that is out there. When I was younger, I had so many questions about life and God, and these are things that little girls and boys should not be questioning at such a young age. I think that when you're younger, you really don't have your own way of really moving towards a religion. Like, most people come about a religion because of their family's preference. I come from a very Catholic family, and it's more so on my dad's side, to be exact. My grandma on my dad's side is very, very Catholic. She's been gone, about 5 years now, and all through my life, I've known her to be one of the most religious women I've ever grew up knowing. And, she's always talked about the Word of God, and, she's followed that belief. As for my mom's side of the family, they're Catholic as well, although my mom, I believe, stated that she was baptized Lutheran. Anywho, when it came down to me, seeing as both sides have very similar beliefs in a Lord, my parents gave me the choosing to believe in whatever I wanted. So I was never baptized. I was, never told I had to believe in this or that. I was kind of given my own right to do as I pleased and to believe in what I wanted. And I think that's a wonderful thing. especially if you are a parent that is either religious or agnostic or even atheist. I think it's great to allow your child to believe in what they want to. I have friends that are atheist and just, they don't let their kids believe in a particular thing. So as a parent, if you're struggling with that sort of question in your life, best way to go about it, in my opinion, is to just allow your child to become who they want to become and believe what they want to believe. So there's that. So, I mean, with my parents, I was very lucky to not be forced into religion. However, on my mom's side of the family, we do also have a fraction of relatives that are Jehovah's Witnesses. And I can't tell you how many times they've tried to convert my mom and I to becoming a Jehovah's Witness. But my parents, especially my mom, she never believed in that sort of thing. We always found it to be way too confusing and way out there. So it was never our thing. We've always politely declined, and that was just that. When I came about Laveyan Satanism, I was pretty young. I was probably about 14 years old. I did have some influence musical wise. Everybody kind of knows, or if you don't know, Marilyn Manson has talked of Anton LaVey and his teachings of Satanism, and he does talk about that in his book. When I first heard about Satanism, it just kind of like sat with me a little weird, and it was something I just had to research. So when I researched the particular Satanism that Marilyn Manson had talked about, it kind of clicked with me, like, it's weird that there's no belief in a lord or any type of deity for that matter. So the more that I've come to research Satanism as a whole, not just particularly Laveyan Satanism, the more it became more easier for me to accept. So, I mean, I've always been pretty agnostic my whole life because, well, when I was younger, I've always had family members that had a high belief in a deity. So it was one of those things that, kind of went back and forth inside my mind. But when I became about 14 years old is when my views started to kind of turn a little bit. And I always thought to myself, there's just something not right about religion, and I need to figure out how it's not and why. And basically that's when I came to finding Laveyan Satanism and through Marilyn Manson, because I read his book, Long Hard Road Out of Hell, and he talks about Anton LaVey, and Marilyn Manson is also a member of the Satanic Church. So, basically, in conclusion, Laveyan Satanism is basically you are your own God, you make your own decisions, and that is that. There is no God, there is no Satan, there's you. You are the power. So the next question is, how does that belief system work? What do you believe in? As I've stated, you are your own God. You make up what you feel is happy. So you do what you feel is happy. What you believe in is you believe in yourself, pretty much. You believe in what you want to believe in. As long as it has nothing to do with any deity other than yourself, because you are putting yourself in place of God. So therefore, you have the power to change and to do whatever you please. What we don't believe in is sacrifice. So that's one of the things that Satanism seems to be kind of tied to, is some sort of sacrifice, but you don't sacrifice anything. Sacrificing means you're kind of taking away from something. Whereas in Laveyan Satanism, you don't sacrifice nothing. You do it or you don't. You just do whatever makes you happy. So if you wanted to do something but had to kind of like sacrifice something in order to do it, that's not the proper way of going about Laveyan Satanism. So you don't sacrifice anything. You just do what makes you happy, and that's what you do. Third question, do you worship the devil or Satan? Absolutely not. Honestly, I know there's different types of Satanism. Um, I'm pretty sure the Satanism that everybody kind of has come to know is the type where you're a devil worshiper. That's a whole other level of something that should just completely not exist altogether. Satan is obviously really not a real person. It's just kind of an idea. Satan is sort of put in place as like an idea, sort of like just a practice. It's kind of like saying, that you believe in Christianity. So believing in Satan, you're putting yourself in the place of Satan. But if Satan was a real person, we wouldn't worship him, but he would be respected. But there is no Satan, so it just kind of cancels out everything. As for the devil does not exist. There is no like half beast, half human with horns and a weird tail and hooves, and there's none of that shit. Okay, so the fourth question is, what can you do as a Satanist? Anything you want to. Whatever makes you happy. Basically, you want to have sex, you can have sex. If you want to do drugs, you can. I know it sounds really bad, but we are encouraged to seek help if, too much of a good thing becomes a problem. It is encouraged to seek help at that point. We have nothing against any of that. Being a good person is something you can be as a Satanist. In fact, it's highly encouraged. I am a wonderful person. I do good for humanity. I love and respect animals. I respect other people, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. Just because my beliefs are a little different than everybody else's does not take away from the fact that I am a human being and I have feelings, and I abide by the law. You can do whatever you want. Like I said, as long as it makes you happy and you're doing something good for yourself, then I don't see why not. But yeah, you can do whatever you want to. You can have sex, you can get married. It really doesn't matter. But the whole marriage thing I'll get to later on. 5. What holidays can you celebrate, and do you celebrate Christmas? Particularly the most celebrated holiday that we have is our birthday. Your birthday is the most celebrated of all the holidays just because you are God. So yeah, you celebrate your birthday, and also Halloween is a very important holiday to celebrate. Also, we can celebrate Christmas. Actually, Christianity stole Christmas from the pagans, so I mean that's an acceptable holiday to incorporate into the mix of things. We could also celebrate Easter if we wish, as long as we don't, tie it into the whole deity aspect. Same with Christmas, Christmas being Jesus's birth and Jesus's crucifixion on Easter. We can celebrate those things, and I believe that pretty much all holidays now are so commercialized that it kind of lost the meaning of the religious aspect. So, I mean, I could celebrate anything I want to as long as I don't tie it in with the deity. Valentine's Day is coming up on Tuesday, so that's one that I will be celebrating because I love Valentine's Day. I love the whole lovers aspect. I know there's so much negativity surrounding Valentine's Day, and I don't know why. I mean, you could totally celebrate it yourself with yourself. I mean, it's, you don't need anybody just to celebrate Valentine's Day. If you want to buy yourself flowers, you do it, girl. Just do it. Or guy, whatever. Okay, so the next question, which are 2 questions combined, so for 6 and 7, is, are you affiliated with the Church of Satan, and how does someone become a part of the Church of Satan? Yes, I am affiliated with the Church of Satan. The process of becoming a part of the Church of Satan is a lengthy process, and it takes, I believe, about 16 weeks to become fully registered. To become a part of the Church of Satan, you have to fill out a lengthy questionnaire as well as a written oath that you will follow the teachings of Satanism. And to be a part of Satanism, you don't need to register to the Church of Satan. If you pick up a copy of the Satanic Bible by Anton LaVey, it tells you everything you need to know. Being registered to the Church of Satan is just like an added thing. Like, you can. It does cost money to become a part of the Church of Satan, just because of all their time and effort into getting you registered and whatnot. I believe it costs about $200, plus you have to be 18 years of age or older to become registered. I got registered when I was about 21. I knew I always wanted to become a part of it. I just wanted more research into it, but when I turned about 21 is when I fully registered, and yes, I did pay the $200 fee, and basically it's, like I said, a lengthy process, and it takes some time, but it's just an added thing. You don't need to be registered to the Church of Satan to be a Satanist. Just read the Satanic Bible, and that's all you need to know. So question number 8. Do you sacrifice children or animals? No, absolutely not. Animals are highly respected. At least in my book, they totally are. And children as well. I'm preparing to become a mother within the next year. So it'd be wrong for me to sacrifice children while trying to become a mother. So it's absolutely prohibited. And if you are a part of the Church of Satan, or if you ever want to become a part of it, that's something you might want to consider not doing, because that's very wrong. Also, if you want to become a part of the Church of Satan, I believe there are some restrictions on that, as well as, like, if you are a felon, you can't become a part of the Church of Satan. And if you're in the military, you can become a part of the Church of Satan. It's just highly encouraged that you don't talk about it, because some of your, like, your sergeants and whatnot are Christians mostly, so it would kind of make things harder for you. It's just, I don't know if they have like any sort of like church for Satanists in the military, but it explains all that on the website for the Church of Satan. As for animals and children, though, they are respected and treated as such. So I don't know why anybody would sacrifice either of them, but it is very discouraged. And 9, what does your family think of your beliefs as a Laveyan Satanist? My family really doesn't know much about my beliefs. My mom really doesn't care what I believe in. I do what I want to, and she's happy with whatever I do as long as it keeps me alive and I don't, go to jail or prison, I'm pretty sure if my dad and my grandma on my dad's side were still alive today, they would probably have some questions about it. More so my grandma, because she would probably be very disappointed. But like I said, nobody really needs to know, because it doesn't take away from who I am as a person. So I just kind of keep it to myself. If it ever comes about in any type of conversation, I'll talk about it just as I'm talking to you about it. I'll explain it as I'm explaining it to you. It's honestly nobody's business, but I enjoy talking about my beliefs, because I feel that there's so many misconceptions of it, and the more people gather what I say to them, or at least a perspective of it, it might change some people's views on it. And that's kind of what I want to do. Like, my platform on Satanism is to sort of change the way people think and feel about it, because there are so many misconceptions of it. So there's that. And 10, it says, how has being a Laveyan Satanist shaped you? Has it changed your life? Absolutely. Being a Laveyan Satanist has opened my mind to so many different things. I used to worry so much about, what I was doing as a person, and trying to make, this world a better place, and how I was going to do that. And when I was younger, like I've stated, religion was a huge part of my family. And, having that belief system in God at one point really screwed things up for me. It made me so anxious, because I always felt like I had to do things a certain way. But when I discovered Satanism, it completely changed my way of thinking. It opened up my mind. It has decreased a lot of my anxiety that I have felt in this world. Obviously, I will always have a mental illness because anxiety is a very unavoidable. It's just something that will always be a part of my life. But the manageability as a Satanist to, see things the way that I want to and to do as I please when I want to and how I feel it to be fit is a wonderful experience. Um, I will say this 100 times over. It has not changed my personality. It has not done anything negative to my life nor anybody else's life. I am friends with people of the Christian faith, and I have friends that believe in nothing at all. In retrospect, Laveyan Satanism is pretty much on the lines of atheism. It's just, the only difference is that there is a belief in a God, but you are the God. So, I mean, as for like an unknown deity, that just doesn't exist in my world, in my belief system, because I am the one in command of everything that I do. And I think that's important. And like I said, how can it be so negative to have a positive view on the world that you are in control, I mean, there's so many things that can be argued, but honestly, the way I see it, it's been such a positive thing for me. So I keep following it because it's such a positive influence to me. So I have some bonus questions here. And one of the bonus questions is, you said you believe in the secret or the law of attraction. How does that work out with being a Satanist, considering that the secret is a whole other belief system? It's a very interesting question indeed. And honestly, I do believe in the secret, which is the law of attraction. I do believe that like attracts like. Believing in the secret has nothing to do with anything religious. It's just the universe's energy towards you. So basically, if you think about good things will come to you. I know it can be definitely argued in Satanism that believing in the law of attraction will definitely take away from your beliefs as a Satanism. However, I don't see it that way because, like I said, the secret or the law of attraction, if you will, does not have any religious value to it. It's just more of like the nature's energy coming towards you and granting your every wish. And the secret makes me happy, and as a Satanist, or primarily a Laveyan Satanist, doing and believing in what makes you happy is what Satanism is all about. So if I want to believe in the secret or / the law of attraction, I believe that's okay because I'm not praying to or believing in a deity, because the universe is a very real thing. God is not. Unless in Satanism you being God is a real thing, then yes. But that's a whole other thing. I definitely want to do more videos on the law of attraction just because it's more of like a process of thinking or a way of thinking, and so that'll come up later. So in conclusion to this whole video, I'm definitely open to more questions. I know a lot of people are going to have a very confused feeling towards me since I've come out to the fact that I believe in Satanism. As I've said before, it is not a negative thing on my account. It's more so a way to believe in this world as a better place and believing in yourself. And if that's such a wrong thing or a way to live, then tell me, how does being a Christian and following Christianity make things so much better? I'm definitely not trying to make that quite a negative question. It's just that so many people like to attack things they don't understand, which is less likely for a person to believe in something. But this is what I believe in, and as I've stated, it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm a good person, and it doesn't change the way I feel about another person. I have friends of all different walks of life and beliefs, and I have no problems with that. If a person wants to believe in a deity, that is their own choosing. And that doesn't take away from their personality or the way that they live their life. It's just who they are and what they believe in. And I think at the end of the day, that's something that people need to learn how to cope with, is that it's agree to disagree sort of nature, and that basically it's a compromise. You know, they believe in something different than you, but it shouldn't have any effect on your friendship or your romantic relationships with people. So that is my view on Satanism, and hopefully this was at least a little bit easier for you to understand. So that's it for me, and if any of you have any questions, I am definitely open to answering them. So see you later.